Welcome back to a deflated Lansdowne Road where it's finished Ireland 1, Netherlands 2. It was a great start by Stephen Kenny's men. Not just the goal, I mean the pressing, forcing the Dutch, pulling up to them, getting in the face. Something we haven't seen the Irish team do for a very long time. And it looked like we could have been on the verge of something very, very special. And then we do what we always do. And we sort of let it slip out of grasp and gave away a silly penalty. You know, couldn't really blame Captain Zunu. He did his best to pull out, lucky not to get sent off. And we were caught twice. Shane Duffy caught twice. Too deep, playing the man on. And that looks like it could be that for this particular regime, for the Stephen Kenny regime. I mean, at the end, they weren't booed off, to be fair to the fans here. I mean, cracking atmosphere, fantastic atmosphere here for the first few minutes. But it just seemed to go. It just seemed, it started really, really well. And then it all just seemed to sort of dissipate as the night went on. Is that the end of Stephen Kenny? Is that it? Is that it for him now? What do you think? As always, guys, we are Irish football's most interactive podcast. So, have your opinion. And just live. No worries. Sorry. All the best. Safe home. See you later. Sorry, just somebody saying hello there. One of the main despondent Irish fans, I'm sure, going home. So what can you do? Another campaign over. Far begun, really. Nowhere near the business end of it. But yeah, listen, have your, tell us what you think. I want to hear from you guys. Is it the end, Stephen Kenny? Was the effort good enough? Even though we're out, is that enough to keep him in the job? Has he done enough to keep himself in the job? What are your thoughts? The players, the effort. I mean, it just the Dutch just seemed, the game management just seemed to be so much better, didn't it? They just seemed to, even though they were 1-0 down, the crowd were getting on top of them, baying for blood. It was fantastic. They just slowed it down, didn't they? They were staying down for a bit longer. They're taking the sting out. I think it was a challenge. It was very early. James McLean, took the guy out. Guy's out on the ground, running. Nothing wrong with him. Well, he's just doing it just to slow it down, and it worked. Got the penalty, and then of course the second goal, the winner in the end. Just seems to be the same old, really. See the comments coming in, guys. I'm going to get to them in a second. I want to hear what you guys think. If you're on the way home, are you here tonight? Are you watching home? If you're watching around the world, like millions of Irish are, I'm sure, let me know. Tell me what you think. Some of the stats here from the game. Have a little look there. I mean, some of the key stats here is from UEFA.com. We had 52% possession, more of the ball than Holland. Never thought I'd ever say that. 9 attempts each. We had 2 shots on target. They had 5. We had 9 attempts. They had 9 attempts. That was a pretty even game. I just think it just seemed to be all about guile, didn't it? A lot of huff and puff there. I mean, there's a couple of players there. I mean, Jason Knight won man of the match, or player of the match. He was excellent. I thought Benny was excellent. He was a nuisance, wasn't he? He was an absolute pain in the arse of Van Dijk. Van Dijk absolutely got away with a few. There was one actually earlier in the game, no one pointed out, where Benny's shirt was being pulled off him, but he did it to Van Dijk as well. I thought actually had a very good game. He was pressing high up. Alan Brown, I thought, was actually pretty good. Brown, to be fair to him, is quite limited, but he was motivated. And I thought he actually did okay. And then about 25 minutes to go, Stephen Kenny went back to the 4-3-3 that we were supposed to be playing through all the different setups. And we went to a flat back 4, and it seemed to steady the ship a bit more, but it just wasn't enough, was it? It wasn't good. Was it good enough? It wasn't. Clearly not. And Sinclair Armstrong, fair play to him. He made his competitive debut in senior Ireland debut. Fair play to him. Shame it wasn't under but happier circumstances. There's a lad on the pitch getting a little steel plate. Weghorst. Yep, Weghorst is getting a little trophy and all. You can hear the Dutch in the background. They're happy with their man Weghorst on the pitch. Fair play to him. Delighted for him. So tell me what you think, guys. Comments coming in there. Keep coming in. Tell me what you thought of it. If you're listening to Stephen Kenny podcast or podcast, if you're listening to the Stephen Kenny press conference or interview, tell me what you said. I have no idea because I'm doing this with you guys here. And also, I noticed a Liverpool fan running on a pitch trying to get Van Dijk's jersey. I don't get it. I really don't get it. But it's the modern world, I suppose. Right, let's get into it. Let's get into your comments, guys. Plenty coming through. Have your say. McGunnett. Spirited performance, probably would have won it if it was Ferguson getting Ida's chance. However, yet again, too easy to beat. 3 to back, wing-back system at 4 for 2 goals. Doherty for the first, silly little back flick. And Duffy, to be fair, you're going to play Duffy in the back three. He has to be the anchor man in that. And the problem with that is he's too far deep and he's playing everyone on. But Jan Guilfoyle, how you doing, Jan? On our YouTube channel, lots of effort and endeavour, but how many chances did we actually create? Our only successes were from pressing the Dutch defence earlier on, and once they sorted that out, we seemed out of ideas. That's true. It was plenty of endeavour. Look, this Irish team always try, right? That can never be, and that's why I was delighted they weren't booed. I genuinely was very happy, said it in the pre-show, that I didn't want them booed. But when you look at it, like when they're on the ball and they're trying to play football, it's too slow, it's too prodding, there's too many touches. If you're trying to play football, you're trying to play it back, it has to be quick. You have to be on it all the time. And if you can't do that, then you have to change it up. And we just didn't. I mean, even at the end, it seems almost poetic that at the end, put Duffy up front. Pump balls into the box and he wouldn't do it. Kenny, I'll give him credit for that. He might have might be a little bit turkey bone for Christmas, but he just went out in his principles, I suppose, went out in the swords. If this is the end of Stephen Kenny. Jan, again, I was a big Kenny supporter early on, but being toothless and attacked for far too long, time to give someone else a go. Do you agree? Tell me what you think. McGunnett, again, spirited performance probably would have... Oh, that's come in again. McGunnett again. McLean, nowhere to be seen for the second. It was a pointless system anyway for a team that never have enough possession in the final third, which sees wing-backs and overlaps. We don't have the pace to play it. That's the thing, McGunnett. We don't actually have the pace to play it. Even Manning comes on, he's left wing-back. He's no pace. He can't run. I don't know how he's a wing. How can he be a wing-back when he can't run? Not having a go with the lad. Might seem like that. Somebody coming down there actually said to me, Dave, but I didn't say Dave, just said be fair. I am being fair. Kieran Boyle over in sunny Florida. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Same old, same old. A competent, experienced manager will get more from this group. Cutting out McLean, Duffy, Doherty, Hendrick, Sinclair, and Ferguson are the future. Keep it moving. Do you agree with Kieran over in sunny Florida? Kieran, I need to hear it. You know what I want to hear. Tell me. Shane Brown, I've been a fan, but time to change. The game's up. The last 3 years that game sums up the last 3 years in a nutshell. Poor sub decisions. Too late. He got spooked. Last 3 games, and it showed. Blue and gold. Enough is enough. 3 years of bad results to lesser teams. Can't get results in tight games. Stephen Kenny has to be out. McGunnett. All on the altar are supposedly good but unsuccessful football. Decent squad of players there that Kenny hasn't got the best from. There is a chance to build a team around Ferguson. I think it's a good team. I think it's a decent team there. I think the wing-back system, get rid of it. Doesn't work. We have wing-backs. But, you got Enda Stevens, 33. Hamstrings are shot. Ryan Manning has no pace. Festi Abasili, fair enough. But, doesn't seem to fancy him. Matt Doherty, too slow. We have another kid on the pitch. What is wrong with people? There's a young lad run on the pitch. And now... He's in the centre circle. We got a guy this end in a suit, and we have a team of lads dressed in black. He's got a phone in his hand. He's running around. One lad's got out in his ear. He's dodged one, dodged the other. Oh, no, they got him. Fantastic. What is wrong with people? And now we have another 2 on the pitch. And Dutch lad's trying to get him. Couldn't get him. Pulse security members trying... No, he's evaded that. He's gone out in his arse. And the other kids... Has he run out of steam? No. Oh! They're ruining the pitch. And now we have a team of black coming at him. Has he got it? No. He's evaded him. Hey, he's taking him out of it. There you go. What is wrong with people? That's about 7 people that run on the pitch. Jesus Christ. Oh, that was a bit more entertaining than the match, I suppose. All right, well, I've lost track. We're going to move on. Cormac Prendergast. The fellow in commentary said we have a chance of qualifying through Nations League. Do you know the crack with that? Yeah, it's all based on permutations and whatever side Venus goes around Neptune and whatever side of the bed I get up in the morning. Apparently, I don't know. It's all mad complicated, but yes, there is. It's based on your Nations League. It's how we got a playoff when we finished third. In the Euro 2020 qualifier, people said, "Oh, Mick got us a playoff." No, he didn't. That was actually thanks to O'Neill when we got relegated, because it was only 3 teams in it. But then they changed the rules and we were back in it. Mad. So there is still a chance, even after the Netherlands game in November. Kenny could be gone. He could still be in. We could still get a playoff. It is that mad. I don't understand the full thing. It's crazy. Kieran Boyle. Anyone else would have got rid of Kenny in 2021? Incompetent, naive, tactically inferior, and he couldn't motivate me to order a pizza. Now that's strong words there, Kieran. Shane O'Connor, Smallbone, Mickey Johnson, McGrath, Armstrong need to be starting 11. Kenny needs to go now. He can't get us to tournaments, and that's what he's paid to do. I mean, it's the manner in which we're going out. There's no point in playing well in the odd game here and there. It has to be done on a consistent level. Dara O'Loughlin, we've had one bad result away to Greece. Is it disastrous that we're beaten by the world finalists, home and away, by the World Cup quarterfinalists? I don't think any other manager would have done better. Do we agree with Dara? Would anyone, and John Aldridge said it as well, would we do better? I'm not defending him. I'm asking the question, so don't come after me. Chris Earls, feels for Kenny, probably time now anyway. But how can a manager stop that Doherty header and Duffy dropping off and off and off every time, especially in the first goal? Smallbone, McGrath, obvious subs, but we're both nowhere near. Simple, Chris, don't pick him. You know, Doherty hasn't looked at it, and Duffy's always like, if you want to play a ball playing back 4 or a back 3, you don't pick Shane Duffy. I'm not having a go at the lad. I respect the man. I never met him. He seems like a very good man, and I respect him as a player, and he's been a hero for us on so many occasions. But if you want to play a ball playing back 4 or 3, you don't pick Shane Duffy, because he's a liability in that. That's not his fault. That's just his game. He's an old school centre half, but he's a liability on the ball. But I know the point you're making there, Chris, just to be fair to you, in the context of what you're saying, is that, you know, you can't really negotiate for, you know, individual errors. I understand that as well. But Gunnett, best luck to Kenny. We all would jump at the job, but it was too big for him. He doesn't deserve personal betrayal. Time for Tish. No, hopefully this doesn't get nasty now towards Stephen Kenny. He's a good footballing man. It appears it hasn't worked out for him, you know. But no one deserves abuse. He's done his best. Connor Prendergast, Johnston injured. Yes, he is. Saoirse Morrissey, they were so slow for throw-ins. It was very frustrating, very slow all around. I think Saoirse, you know, even when you look at them and they're getting forward, like there's no one bombing forward, and you know you see all the space that they had. And you're thinking, you know, just hit it now, and they're dithering around and not hitting the first time. You're like, drives you mad. Not public. Matt Doherty, 2 minutes of club football in the year. Ebisetti, 20 games of Serie A. Kenny picks Doherty. Kenny, logic. Doherty looked unfit and couldn't make any overlapping runs. And frustrating. He was very, very slow. He was very, very slow today. Yeah, he's not match fit. And you make a great point, not public. Shane Brown, Fessy should have started. Collins was poor. Chio, incredible effort. Jason Knight, my man of the match, but it's a depressing day after such a positive start. Martin Orr tried to get behind Kenny from the start. It's been really hard the last 12 months. I hope he goes now, but no idea who should step in. Who is affordable? Lee Carsley. Chris Earls, Fessy has the touch of a pet pony. Stop. Never heard that one before. Shane O'Connor, I know, but still only a sub. That's about Fessy, I'd imagine. David Beck, a disaster start to the second half. You can't invite a team of the calibre of Holland onto you and sit off them. That goes inevitable, unfortunately. I've been a huge fan and advocate Kenny's, but thought he was tactically nice second half. First half was excellent, just needed more of the same. You need to get the crowd on side. Now, the air went out of the crowd. Now, they were rattled. The Dutch were rattled. The goalkeeper, rubbish. What was his name? Flecken. Should have been called Flappin. He was terrible. Like, you see his Superman punch. What was that? Just catch the ball. They should have been putting the big man on him. That's been a problem with Stephen Kenny. He's been trying to play his pure football, right? And that's fine. But sometimes, the Dutch got nasty. They were nipping away. They were nipping away at something going on over there with Dutch lads. I think they were getting security team getting a picture of one of the players. They were nipping away at the Irish lads. Getting frustrated, getting if you're going to do that, you have to mean it again. They should have been putting the big lads around the goalkeeper, pumping balls into the box, especially 20 minutes ago. What have you got to lose other than your job? That's what you should have been doing. That's kind of old school football, especially when you have someone like, we never mentioned this actually, and he's come on my screen there now. Ronald Kimball, what an arrogant bastard he is. Like said, the Irish players are inferior. I mean, that's your team talk done. They should have been roughing that guy up, and they should have been really going after him. But anyway, Pater Dugan, subs were shocking tonight. Why wait until the 87 minutes to bring on a striker when you need goals? Yeah, and you should have been pumping balls into that box. 10 minutes to go, 15 minutes to go, whatever. Dar Loughlin, the lads played really well tonight with a shout out to Ida, Knight and Brown to name a few. They were definitely playing for the manager. That I don't doubt at all, Dara. I think, there was a couple of doubts there. And I'm guilty of saying it, and I'll hold my hands up, thinking, well, are they really playing for the manager? But I think tonight to show, because they were like, do you know what? We need to win this for the manager. And he really put it on. They just couldn't hold it. They just couldn't keep it going. Graham Farr, plenty of effort as usual, shooting ourselves in the foot. Again, Kenny era, like as Giles used to put it, moral victory, it's soul destroying. Cormac Prendergast, should definitely be starting when fit. I think that's Ebasali. Graham Farrell, why did Doherty, or Mikey Johnson actually, Graham Farr, why did Doherty head the ball back inside? He's a fucking idiot. Performance for him as bad as his haircut. Yeah, it is pretty bad. Adam Kavanagh, the Dutch were there for the taking tonight? Yes. I always want to look positively at Kenny's plan, but making progress involves getting some good results at some stage, which never came. He's run out of road now. Declan Finnegan, McGrath should be nowhere near an Irish team. He was so poor. The little thing, Declan, I hope you're well, by the way. The little between him and Manning over there. Gee, what was that? What was that? Dara O'Loughlin, the football is lightning fast compared to the last 15 years of dribble. That is true, Dara, to be fair. Sebastian, I know that I often complain of Kenny, but I did want him to succeed. He's not an aspiring man. John Wayne's real last name is Morrison. Time to clone him and put him in charge. Barry Murphy, had enough of this now. Kenny out. I see Lee Carsley is favoured, but that wouldn't be my choice. Try Keane or Houghton. Someone who's managed at a good level. Sure, even Redknapp or Big Sam. Ooh, I don't know about that, Barry. Chris Houghton. Dire football. Roy Keane, I mean, it'd be box office. You'd never be bored. I mean, Irish football's never boring anyway, but I don't know if he's suitable as a manager. Kieran Boyle, bollocks the ball up to the box from the back and feet on the scraps. Hook it to my veins, Kieran. None of this passing nonsense. Rory O'Shea, there's no movement when we have the ball. It's shocking. That is very true. They're very static. They stop, they turn, they pivot. They're like Sabutio players sometimes. There's no movement. Don't pass the ball to feet. Pass it in front. I just pass it in front. Pass it to space in front. Have the confidence to do it. Don't hit it to your feet. To the other person's feet. John Foley, we're out again. We are indeed, John. Adam Kavanagh, sure, Doherty is finished at international level. Nowhere near it now. Don't like pointing the finger, but not turned in and cost us. He has cost us a lot, actually. And the manager, George Robinson, Kenny's a dead man walking. Well, hopefully not literally, George, but I know what you mean. Graham Farrell, hashtag Kennynomics. He gets it. Dave Downey, if you got to win, the lad asking for the VVD shirt should have gone completely unnoticed. Yeah, I notice everything, Dave, except for pronunciations. Brendan Byrne, we made enough chances, but Ferguson made a difference. I think tonight would have been good to have him up front because I think he would have bullied the goalkeeper a bit more. Although I had his big lump too. We just needed to just keep at them, We just needed to keep at them and not make stupid mistakes. Kieran Boyle, there we go. Hashtag away to Jays with his story. Bring back Adidas. Look good, play good. That's it, Kieran. I can get on with the rest of my day now. Pater Dugan, 27 million worth of PL centre backs on the bench, and O'Shea and Obama Deli, and he starts Duffy. It was a 4-for-2 goals. Duffy has been past it for years. Get Roddy Collins in, says Rory O'Shea. Doherty was very clumsy, says John Foy. Yes, he was. Jimmy Tamley says, hard luck to the boys in green. Declan Finnegan, surprised that Armstrong got into the matchday squad. Delighted for him, but what's the point bringing him out with 5 minutes to go? Agreed. That commentator is shite. Which one are you talking about? I'm not sure what country you're watching in. Simon Ward, Chris Hughton should have gotten the job in the first place. Cormac Prendergast, is it the games we have already played in the Nations League that are relevant to a potential playoff? Yes. It'll be based on what we had in the last group. So just depends who qualifies out of the Euros, for the Euros, then what's left over in the Nations League, and then who's entitled to a playoff from that. That's pretty much the gist of it. I don't understand it, Cormac. I probably should. Frank Byrne. We know what you're spelling there. John Foy, results, none. Barry Murray, let Kenny go back to his level. Irish League. David O'Grady, Kenny needs to go 3 years in and no progress. He has brought in young blood, but we need an experienced manager. We need to launch a long ball tactic when behind, not sit back playing ticky-tack. Doherty is unfit. We're not bringing the under-21s, young blood and energy. I do agree that if it's not working, it worked. We pressed them. We were aggressive. We pressed their back line. They were ropey. They were making mistakes. The goalkeeper was absolutely dreadful. You have to be aggressive. Look, if you're a limited bunch of players, right? And, I know people have been very unkind to this team. It's a very young team, right, in parts. And in very important parts, i.e. the goalkeeper, some of the back line, the midfield. The spine team's quite young, it's quite inexperienced. So we have to be kind to them, and they will be. I'm confident we will have some quality players when they mature. But, if you have them aggressive, you have them pressing, and you harry the Dutch team into mistakes like we were doing, you have to keep at it. You have to keep going. Now, you can't do it for 90 minutes, but that's what you do. The goalkeeper was dodgy. You put pressure on him. And we didn't. We did it for a bit. We sat off, and we never got back to it again. They settled. They went back to I think they went back to a 4-3-3 or something similar. They went to a back four. And they just settled, and that was it. We had no idea what to do after that. Then I've gone there. Feel that pretty much only chances came from pressing Dutch mistakes. So I didn't even see that. Glad you agree. We struggled to create clear chance from our own play. Sometimes that's enough though. Then or there, that's it. You just harry them into mistakes, get them to play in their own half. It's kind of what Jack did, wasn't it? Getting to play in their own half and play in their own box. Simon Ward, it takes us nearly a minute to take every kick out. Yeah, not quick enough. Dave McGuinness, how you doing, David? Even though they were there for the taking, Kenny doesn't have to press to pounce on that and change it up and make an impact. Yeah, look, that's true. I mean, as I said, you're going to press them. It was working. They changed to a back four. And then it wasn't working. So you need to alter your game plan. And even at the end, lump balls into the box. Graham Farrell, that Dutch keeper was shite. Why the fuck did we not throw balls into the box and put him under pressure? Again, we're too nice. It's going to get us nowhere. I agree. That has been a problem with this Irish team. Too nice. Not aggressive enough. Not nasty enough. Not mean enough. Ken Gorey, Dutch keeper was rubbish and we never tested him. Shocking that we've managed to count adjust to the opposition's weakness. Dave McGuinness, going back for autumns, we heard Kenny say that the improvement was needed. Listen to it again in autumn 2021, and the turn draws into wins and create more up front in autumn 2022. More excuses. Here we are, the fourth autumn, no progress, same results, no punch up front, hasn't a clue who to pick, and it's so poor to be here after all this time. Graham Farrell McGrath, I like him, but Jesus, he was awful. First touch from Manning's throw and went straight back out. Yep, I saw that. Second half was dismal. My nephews under 12 would have better coaching, says Michael Foley. McGuinness, the most glaring thing is the apathy that most of us seem to have. Gone are days of devastation, even anger, Irish lost. Nothing now. Thanks for cracking content over the weekday. Thank you very much, McGuinness. I do appreciate it. Hopefully I won't be dying ill at the next window. I'm Emine. I think that's what it says. If I'm butchering that, I do apologize. Please let me know how to pronounce your name on our YouTube channel. But you say it's beyond question now. It's hard to argue. David O'Grady, for fuck's sake, Jack Chartle's at it. We'll put him under pressure. It's so true, isn't it? It's so true. Harry them into mistakes. And take your chances. And we did that for the first few minutes. And they didn't know what to do. The singing section over to my right got behind the team. The whole place was better. It was that roar was incredible, especially after the anthem. They were up for it. And It's like we took our foot off the throat. We took the foot off the Dutch throat. We let him away with it. Damien Gann. Kenny needs to go now. He's had way too much time. Unfortunately, Ferguson wasn't available tonight. Barry Murray. It's like Fada said on the Eurovision that we won't change manager because it will cost too much. John Foy. Ferguson, if we had him, would have scored instead of fumbling the ball into the box. That's true. I mean, there was one there with very early, where we were like literally the second minute. I think Ida, to be fair to him, like he dithered a bit, and he laid it off to Ogbenny. You know, where you'd reckon someone like Ferguson, he would turn that. He would find a way to get a shot off and probably put it in the back of the net because he's just a natural goal scorer. Adam T. Poland are bottling top two. Huge blow for playoffs hopes. Oh, they're battling top two. Oh, they're bottling top two. Huge blow for playoff hopes. Okay, good man, Adam. So obviously, yeah, that's the sort of thing we're relying on now to get a playoff for the Euros. Michael Foley, very average Dutch side, complete Irish embarrassment. Duffy only one to give it on, but he did make two mistakes. Martin, no, Chris Hughes, 90 answer. Be back to around the donkey ball. It really would, Martin. It really would. Not public. Ran out of steam after 15 minutes. Manager waited until 80 minutes to make attacking changes. No ability to manage a game process. Kuma's changes had immediate impact. Yep. Going to the back four. Change it up. Scored pretty soon after that, actually. Give Stephen Kenny direct some jobs, says Stephen Hackett. He can pick James McLean every week then. Stephen Kenny out. Simon Ward. Ida turns like an oil tanker. I know he's low on confidence, but you would have had a better chance of a goal with a pacey, agile striker like Conley. It just did, yeah. Pressure. Shane Brown, fucking hell, if we still qualify via playoff, I'd nearly feel guilty going to Germany. Would be like sneaking into someone's wedding. New manager, would like Carsley's first choice, get his good young crop organised, and World Cup 2026. Graham Farrell, we often wonder what Kenny says at halftime. The press that works so well in the first half died a death in the second. It's confusing. He can't change the game. Kuhn made a change at halftime, bamboozled Kenny, and he reacted way too late. Barry Purcell, not good enough, I'm afraid. Michael Foley, at least Northern Ireland are worse than us. Time for a United Ireland team playing under the tricolour. We'll probably go back to that now, we will, because we're both for low ebb. Martin Orr, the two lads, back to that discussion, that is. The two lads were having savage conversations on the sideline. I wonder what they were talking about. Obviously, wasn't anything to do with the games. No clue what they're doing. Brendan Byrne, we wanted the team to get the ball down and play. We are doing it now, but without a real number 9, we will struggle. We are relying on set pieces and the centre half to get us something. David O'Grady, Charlton thought his teams to put him under pressure. Why do we not look to do the similar? Ida would have been the ideal target man, just as Noel Quinn was. Kenny's out of his depth. If he goes, who replaces him? Michael Foley, Kenny was fired at half time. Carl O'Foglu, time for new manager to take the remaining games. Kenny's record is shocking. Another frustrating campaign, and we're out of it halfway through the tournament. Barry Murney, Kenny on RT now, delighted with the performance, talking nonsense that Argentina beat the Netherlands in penalties in the World Cup. Oh, Jesus, I hope he's not saying that. Dave McGuinness, we need a manager who can get the best out of the players consistently. McCarthy got players like Cunningham, Breen, and Carsley playing at their peak. Trapattoni got the best out of an average players like St. Ledger, Glenn Whelan, and Lawrence and Delaney, and kept Keane scoring regularly. Staunton got Liam Miller going when he did nothing under care. Martin O'Neill had a very, very ordinary squad, but got the best out of certain players like Andy Keogh, Kevin Hunt, Stephen Quinn, and got us to playoffs and tournaments. I'm not sure if that's the end of that one. David is just cut off now. James McHugh, listening from New Jersey, US. Great show. Good man, Jim. Tough game to watch. Questions are Scotland players that are much better than ours, or is it coaching time for change? Probably a bit of hear what you're saying there. Love Jersey Gardens, by the way, Jim McHugh. Whenever I go over to New York, I always bring a spare suitcase. If you've been there, you know. Jerry Quinn, and thank you for watching, by the way, Jim. I hope you're well over there. Jerry Quinn, sadly, a lot of the players technically aren't good enough at this level, with the exception of Duffy, Knight, and McLean. We are struggling for players. Not public. Kenny is comical. Ali, claiming Iraq is winning the war when you can see the American tanks are rolling in behind him. And I mean mine. I was right. Good man. And lads, we're going to leave it there. Unfortunately, we are out of the Euros. Well, the traditional way of qualifying anyway. We're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for your support over these two campaigns. Two matches over this international window. And just, it's been a blast. Although I spent most of it sick. And I'm going to read Martin's. Can't fault the players. effort, ran out of steam. Fancy the same, to be honest. The next manager will inherit a team who are very young, but got experience under Kenny. Some of the lads were able to get 40, 50 minutes at the touch level, but then run out of gas. FPL will move on him now, but it will be at the end of the campaign. Let English season progress and see caliber of managers who may be better. We're still looking forward to Farrell and Holland trips. I have no choice but to go. Eamon Dawson, Ida does not have the smarts. If we had Evan tonight, we would have scored again in the first half. The amount of times across were blocked or not whipped, and Odgie to slow decision making, yes. And Dave McGuinness, have a good one and look forward to the next pod and feel better soon. Thank you very much, David. And I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you so much over this week. Your support's been amazing, and hopefully I do feel better for the next one. We will be back tomorrow night around 9:30, I think. It just depends on, because I'm going back to London tomorrow, and so is Martin, and Nick lives here anyway. So we will try and get on, but we'll let you know sooner. But aim around the 9:30 mark. We're going to let it all settle down. We're going to see what they say. We might have some movement on the match. We might not, but we'll know a bit more, and we're going to have a proper talk over the two. And yet again, we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear what you have to say. Without you guys, we are nothing, and we want to be your voice. So if you're on the way home from the game, best of luck. God bless. Safe home. I love you too, Martin. He's just put a thing there. And please don't forget to follow us on the Facebook, on the YouTube, on the Twitter, on the Instagram. I said Facebook, didn't I? Anyway, I'm going to go home. I'm very, very tired. I need a chipper, and my mates are waiting for me in the pub across the way. And I think there's the guard out there that wants to speak to me somewhere. If you're still out there, Ken. Anyway, listen, good night. God bless. And safe home.